good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We back again with another HBCU Overdrive live show. Make sure that you hit that like button, hit the like button on the stream. Make sure that you follow. Make sure that you share, comment, but most of all, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the hottest HBCU podcast that's out there right now. And you know what today is? Today is Tuesday Night Live. Tuesday Night Live. Tuesday Night Live. Hey. Tuesday Night Live. Hey. Tuesday Night Live. Hey. I need some music for that. Let's see coming up in here before we get it going on. We got we got my HBCU band talk. Bethune Cookman in the house. We got our Rattler, Uncle Steve, Uncle. It's just a big unk right there, Mr. Campbell. That big Rattler coming in, melanated righteously. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings. Representing Alabama State. Daryl Smith was good. Thetis Hardy was good. Dragon 1998 was good. How y'all doing? Everybody's doing all right. Everybody's doing all right. I know it's a Tuesday night. Uh, just a good old Tuesday night. See how many more people coming up in here. Make sure that we hit that subscribe button, share it with your people. I'm gonna put it out there. If you haven't done it by now, we got Mrs. Body up in here. Got I'm gonna just say it, Andrew Mama. We got Andrew Mama in the building. As always, she representing for them Third Ward Tigers. Let's see what we got going on up in here. Make sure we doing a disaster. We are still doing disaster relief for Rolling Fork. Make sure you send all donations either through Cash App right here or through the super chat because we're gonna utilize that a little bit more often. My goal is to raise $1,000. I don't have an end day to do it, but we just gonna try to raise the money. Right now we're kind of going a little bit slow. We're at 45, but we're trying to raise that money right now. Like I said, it's disaster relief for Rolling Fork. Um, give what you can. Give what you can. Give what you can. Try to see how many people coming in here. We're gonna start it off. We get up to 50. Try to get up to 50 subscribers so we can start this show off. See who else came in the building. we got Big Cuz Ronald Hunt coming in from that Monroe. Big B, what it do? What's good? See how many people we got coming on in here. Edwin, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Southern University in the house. As Uncle said, nephew, proud Tougaloo in Jackson State, man. Try to see how many people get up in here. Trying to see how many people get up in here. We're gonna start off when we get to 50 subscribers. 50 people come in here. We're gonna start the show off. Um, we got a lot talked about today. We got spring games that happened over the weekend. We also have the women's national championship game that happened on Sunday. Also, we'll talk about the men's national championship game. I didn't even get to watch it. I was too busy watching WWE last night. And also, we're going to get to some controversial comments that was made on Twitter by some people that we know, and they need to be checked. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell them like the stream as you come in. Wipe your feet and like the stream. That's how we do it up in here. Wipe your feet and like the stream. We got up to 40 right now. Make sure. Tell me if that when you come in, tell what school you from and where you at right now. Tell them what school you represent, where you at right now. Russell Haynes, you know what I'm saying? We got the MEAC guy up in here. He's pretty much my only MEAC guy other than MEAC Mike. Uh, how you doing tonight? How you doing tonight? Trying to get more people to join. If you haven't done it by now, make sure become an OverDrive fan. All you have to do is just hit that join button on the outside of the chat. You'll get everything coming from me. And make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. So I don't know if I get up to 50, but hey, if we get up to 50, we'll start the show. We have 44 right now. We got 44 viewers right now. Make sure that we get this up to 50. Rep your school and where you're from. What rep your school and where you're from. Woo. Let's see what we got going on up in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. B Rob, what's good, family? What's good? What's good? Oh, we got South Carolina State up in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can't find me on Twitter? Oh, I got you. That's the Twitter handle. And Mississippi Jaguar living in DFW, North Texas. Yep. It's all love. It's all love. Fabian, what's good, man? What's good? Oh, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll get into that, man. We'll get into that in a little bit. All right. So we got to 50. We got 51 people that's viewing right now. So let's get the show started, y'all. Let's get this show started. So look, y'all already know Sunday. Let's not go into Sunday. Let's go into the spring football updates right here. So we had 4 schools that had their spring games on this past Saturday. Southern University, Alcorn. Trying to figure out who the other 2 that had their spring games this past weekend, and we can get into that. Let me see. Pull up my slide. Pull up the slide. Let me get this banner out the way. Alcorn, Southern, and I think it was some MEAC schools that had theirs also. Nope, Albany State and Albany State and North Carolina A&T and Bowie State. So I'm gonna get into some with Bowie State. I had to talk to some people about that. Albany State also because they're D2. North Carolina A&T. I talked to my guy Dave uh, from Panther Nation podcast. He can give me more insight. I've talked to J Max from Swacking the Food and um, Blue had already gave me his assessment on Alcorn. Blue has already gave me assessment on Alcorn, but those are the ones that had their spring games this past weekend. Um, Looking forward to seeing more. football that's coming up this weekend. In fact, let me pull this back up. So this weekend we're looking at. So this weekend we are looking at Alabama A&M. That's the only one in the SWAC that has a spring game this weekend. Norfolk State from the MEAC has their spring game this weekend. You're looking at Benedict. Uh, Clark Atlanta has their on the 6th. I'm about to say, look like Miles College got Lincoln University. They have theirs. I think this is Lincoln, Pennsylvania. They have theirs on the 8th also. So those are the ones that have their spring games this coming up weekend. Um, Clark Atlanta having theirs coming up. They're playing theirs on Thursday, and we can try to get it to some of that right there. Oh yeah, all the April 15 games are wild. I'm positive. For brand protected. I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. So from what we heard about Alcorn, basically they ran pretty much a tight ship because they said last year somebody came for their spring game and was getting the offensive play called the signals from the sideline. So I understand why Coach McNair kind of limited the game in the way that he wanted to do this past weekend, which was, it's a good idea. Um, you don't want to give all your secrets away. You want them to actually do their job and go out there and basically look at the game film. Look at the game film. That's something that all players, all teams needs to do. All the teams need to do. Um, I don't see anything wrong with what he did. Um, but from the perspective of the Blue Bloods who was at the game, also uh, G um, with Swagging the Food, basically uh, from what I'm hearing, the offensive line is a little bit shaky. But I think they don't have all their pieces in yet. Quarterback play, um, Tyler Macon is pretty much the clear cut favorite to be the starter coming in the fall. And basically, they still had that. They still have Agent Zero. They still have Agent Zero, Jarvion Howard. His quest is to run for 2,000 yards this year. I don't think there has been any back in the SWAC to run for 2,000 yards in a season. Um, just correct me if I'm wrong. Just let me know if I'm correct or not. Hit me up in the chat. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, you're right. It's all based in vanilla. What up, Craig? Craig Hall, Third Ward Tigers, man. Texas Southern. Um, Southern. What I'm hearing about their quarterback competition, um, it looks like right now Harold Blood has the upper hand. Harold Blood has the upper hand, but that does not mean that Noah Biden or any other quarterback that's on that roster right now can catch fire at any time during these practices. So, like I said, it's still up in the air, but from what I'm hearing, Harold Blood is pretty much leading that competition. Um, Also from the um, camp at Jackson State, um, all four quarterbacks are doing well. But like I said, if it was my choosing right now, just right now, I would go with Jason Brown. I mean, to me, he's a clear cut favorite. He's at his last stop. This is his last hurrah. Um, Out of all the quarterbacks that's on the roster that has any type of Division One FCS playing time, he is the only one, other than Zion McDonald, who played at uh, University of Louisiana in a limited role. Jason Brown, clear cut favorite to get the starting nod coming in the fall. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Who in the chat going to church? Me. I'm going to church. I'm going to church. But getting back to Jackson State's quarterback competition, my clear cut favorite, like I said, my clear cut favorite is Jason Brown. Um, and I didn't even know this. I was on KC 1400 last night, and Zoe put out the stats where he did at St. Francis in 2019, passed for 3,000 yards, and I think he had over 20 touchdowns in that season, 62% completion. And basically, when he transferred to South Carolina, he played in a couple of games in South Carolina. Of course, we always going to talk about that comeback win um, against University of Florida, where he was bombing away. He was bombing away. If you haven't watched that video, haven't seen that video, just go ahead and check that video out. But I'm ready to see, like, I'm just ready to see real, real action instead of pad shorts and 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 shirts and stuff like that. I'm actually ready to see them hit. I'm ready to see the physicality of the game. That's what I'm ready to see. And then when the fall comes, I'm really gonna be ready to see that all that roll into one. And we also got people that's haters right now. Also got haters that says that Just State ain't gonna be ish, ain't gonna be on anything. We can kiss that third SWAC title goodbye. I mean, and that's cool. You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to say that. But if you ain't ever been to the big dance, you haven't been to the big dance in the last couple of years, you don't need to say anything. And we got Mr. Ford. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, how's it going?
I'm doing good, doing good, doing good. Just kind of freshening up on these spring games from this past weekend and giving a heads up on the games that's coming up this weekend.
Well, Doc, I was thinking about you today. The national media uh, really spoke highly of Dallas as the host city for that women's tournament. Many of them, especially the ones in Atlanta, part of the media said that that was one of the best tournaments on and off the floor for the girls in a very
Yeah.
long time. And they said Dallas, the city of Dallas, did a great job. So I wanted to extend those kudos to you and your city.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. We did a good job.
y'all
I
did a
mean,
good job. Yeah,
it is when it comes to it though. When we host things like Final Fours or even the
yeah,
like first and second round tournament games for the March Madness, also NBA All Star. We had the Super Bowl here. Um, I think we're gonna have a All Star game for baseball coming here since we got the
Right.
new stadium. We've always been um, we've always been like I would say cordial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say cordial as
Yeah.
far as being host.
Yeah. My
You know,
sister goes to the Final Four every year with the women's,
uh
and
huh.
she said it was really great down in Dallas this weekend. She said it was really great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and that was good. Because when the Final Four was here, you had those
Yeah.
those high school girls teams that's here in the city of Dallas around DFW area. They were
Right.
able to either watch or go to one of the games, either the semifinal or the final game,
Right.
and it's cool. It is good. Like I appreciate my city when we do stuff like that. I don't appreciate it when we do dumb shit.
Right. Well, now, didn't you have this tournament? The one in Dallas had more viewers than the people in Houston, right? Is that
that's
right?
that's correct. It was the
Yeah.
the the men's final four, and we're gonna get into that. The men's final four was the lowest had the lowest viewership in like it's some years.
Mm.
Nobody didn't think San Diego State was going to make it to the Final Four, to go to the national championship game, and UConn is pretty much a blue blood because they
Oh yeah,
won it, and
without a doubt.
it's their fifth national championship.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
of course, it's UConn, but I
Yeah.
think a
Yeah.
lot of people were betting on Houston or Alabama or I wasn't even gonna say Purdue because Purdue team was not, to me it was not up to par. And I was
Right.
trying to figure
Yeah.
out the last number one seed who was um Kansas. Kansas was the number one seed. But I think Kansas had some trouble in the Big 12 too. So and I'm trying to figure out how the heck they get a number one seed.
Well, like you said, they're blue blood. That's remember the guy who created the game of basketball was on the faculty at University of Kansas. You know, at the University of Kansas, Adolph Rupp came out of that program. Dean Smith came out of that program. Fog Allen came out of that program. You know, that's like a headquarters for college basketball.
Right.
Yeah. The guy who was the godfather for black college basketball, John McClendon, he
Right.
came out of University of Kansas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. He came out of University of Kansas. John
Okay.
McClendon.
I did not know that.
Yeah. He was black and I think he might have been Native American.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Went to got his job was North Carolina Central. There he coached people like Sam Jones and
Right.
eventually, he went to Tennessee State where he had this guy still living. He called his jumper fallback baby, Skull Barnett. Skull Barnett was from Gary, Indiana. Played
Okay.
for the Knicks and played for the Lakers, I believe.
Right. Dick
Yeah,
Barnett. That's what we're talking about.
Dick Barnett. That's right. Played
Yeah.
with Walt Frazier.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
This is another thing. Oh yeah, the HBCU All Star game was in Houston too. So
yeah, yeah.
I heard good things about that because that was on the campus over at Texas Southern.
Right. It was
Um,
packed house, wasn't it?
it was a
Wasn't it
packed house.
a packed house? Yeah.
It was a packed house. So I kudos to them for um having it on the campus, man. And
Yeah.
it was cool. It was cool. It was nice. John Walker III was there. He played.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Joe Bryan Jr. for Norfolk State. You got a couple of dudes that was on Grambling squad that was playing in that game. So it was a nice turnout. Um,
Now that kid, John Walker the third, what you thinking? NBA's, maybe overseas in Europe or Israel? What are you thinking for him?
I'm thinking more of if he gets on somebody's G League,
Right.
I'm gonna be looking at him on the radar. But I'm looking more of him as like overseas.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
But you gotta realize too, he's a 3-time swag champ, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now he was originally Texas A&M, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he was too. Because he's about what 6'8", 6'9",
Mm-hmm.
and can handle it, can play out. Free throw extended. He
Sir.
could do some things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it was cool. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna get in um the first topic. I know it ain't got too much to do with HBCUs right now, but it has to do with our people. so let so so don't trip, y'all. Don't trip. Um Fallout from the women's national championship game, like we said, the turnout as far as here in Dallas was good. It was great.
Yeah.
Um, we was a gracious host city for the women's final four. I know they're going to try to bring it back sometime soon. I don't know where it's going to be at next year, but I know they're going to try to bring it back to Dallas sometime soon, and we need that because it kind of boosted our economy up. Plus, I'm saying just like this, it was a lot of things that was going on this weekend. There was a lot of events that was going on this weekend here in Dallas.
Right.
Not only do you have the women's final four that was in downtown Dallas, over in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, you had Taylor Swift who had her concert, and
Ooh.
it was sold out. I think
Okay.
for those 3 days that she was here. Um, you also had the Renegades that played on Friday. That's the XFL team. Um, the Rangers had opening day at home for the first time in like 12, 13 years.
Right.
So we had a lot of things going on here in the city. We had a
Now,
lot of things.
is Dallas rated as the number one sports city in America? Who's the number one sports city?
uh, the number one sports city in America. I'm take my.
Not Dallas.
I say I'm be biased. Yes, I'm gonna say me. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah.
But in reality, I would give it to man Sports City.
Would it be Philadelphia or Chicago or somewhere
I
like
would
that?
say Chicago.
Chicago. Mm. Look that up right quick, Doc. See. Just put in number one sports city. See what it says.
Okay. Blue said he told me that Angel was going to get it done last week. He did tell me
Okay.
that. Blue
Oh
told me
yeah,
that, so
okay.
he predicted that. So he was like, "Yeah,
Man, she got a cult following now.
oh yeah,
Everybody's talking about her.
she got she is up to 2 million followers on Twitter, y'all."
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? The thing I like about that girl is so intelligent. She's a smart girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a very smart girl. And I just felt the guy, number 24 on UConn's team,
That's her cousin.
that's her cousin. She's Baltimore and he's Gaithersburg, I think it is, something like that. Is it Gaithersburg?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that when they meet up, the cookout gonna be lit.
Uh, Somebody said Boston is the top sports city. I don't.
Is Boston?
Well, you got the Red Sox, you got
Yeah.
the
Only thing with
Celtics,
Boston is what about college football? I know it's Boston College, Boston University. What else they got?
Northeastern, uh,
Northeastern, that's right.
mhm. Holy Cross, not too far from them.
Yeah, I know Holy Cross is good in FCS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, so that I
Gordy
mean, that,
back in the day was Gordy Lockbaum. You remember him?
I haven't heard.
Yeah, he was up for the Heisman. That was back in the 80s. Gordy Lockbaum.
Okay. Also, we had what this weekend? We had Texas Relays was this weekend.
Ooh, in Dallas?
In Austin.
Whoa. Who
Yeah.
won that?
I know Jackson State went down there. The track team went down there. They did good. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
seen the results yet, but I'm gonna
Right,
go
right.
check those out. Yeah, Blue said, but with Angel Reese, she said she bigger than the WNBA right now.
Oh man, that girl is big, man. Listen, I watched ESPN this morning from 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock, and they talked about that girl from 8 to 12 this morning.
Oh yeah,
That girl got a cult following now. You either for her or you against her. Yeah, that girl got a serious following right now.
But yeah, so she went, man. She had another double double on Sunday, y'all. 15 and 10. You know, she was putting in that work. Jasmine Carson, I think she had 27 points for LSU, so she was the leading scorer, and she was bombing away.
Yeah. Now,
Uh,
one of the girls is from the Atlanta area. She went to McEachin High School.
okay,
The one that had the kind of blonde, the hair up.
yeah, that's her, Jasmine Carson.
Okay, she's from the Atlanta area. She she
Mm-hmm.
she went to McEachin High School here.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I didn't even know that was LSU's first national title
Yeah. Yeah.
championship
Yeah. I know that.
history for the women. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
So Kim Mulkey got one at LSU. I think she got two at she got
Baylor.
she
Yeah.
got two at Baylor.
And don't
Then she
forget,
went
now she played on them teams at Louisiana
to
Tech on the
Louisiana Tech.
Leon Barrymore and Sonia Hogue.
So she got a couple of
Yeah.
titles with them. So I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but as far as her coaching,
Oh, it's awesome, outstanding.
she's on a whole nother level when it comes to
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah. But
You
I
know what I'm
now
saying?
listen, I ain't a fan of hers.
But when it comes to commentary,
Yeah, I ain't no fan of
man,
hers.
we can cut that out right there.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, she's dominant in women's basketball, women's college basketball. Kim Mulkey is something else. I think Leon Barrymore might be on her bench. Is he one of her assistant coaches?
I haven't even checked.
Because he's never been given his credit. That man has never been given his credit.
Man, I haven't checked, but I'm gonna check.
Yeah, yeah.
And on Iowa, Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's a bad girl
Yes, she
right there.
is. She got that
Hey,
Larry Bird in her,
she
baby.
got I mean, 30 points, even though it's in a losing effort, she
Yeah.
still went out there and balled. She
Oh
balled
yeah.
her
She's
ass
a
off.
player. Yes, she is.
So that's a big thing right there. But
Oh yeah. Now she coming back, or is she a senior?
I think she's a senior.
She gonna get big money in that WNBA.
Oh no, they say I say Blue said she's a junior, so both of them are coming back.
So her and Angel coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna be like Magic and Bird. It's gonna be like Magic and Bird all next year. They gonna be on the cover of every magazine in the country next year.
Yeah. So here's the fallout from the game, y'all. The game wasn't even close. It was not close. That in that second half, LSU pulled away.
Yeah.
I think they were up. At one point, they was up by 21 points.
Yeah.
And they had the lead. They had more tenacity, and the size of LSU. That front line gave Iowa fits.
Yeah, and that lady can put 4 3-point shooters on the floor at any time. LSU can bomb.
Right.
They can bomb. It's not just one or two of them. They got 4 or 5 girls can shoot a 3-pointer just like it's a free throw.
Yep. Oh, they say she's a sophomore and she's supposed to be back. Oh my God.
Oh, the Clark girl?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the NIL money she gonna get?
Got to see it. Got to see it through.
Man.
So as far as the play on the court, which was good, it was that.
Yeah.
Like I said, that was an all-time game.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, I felt like the way LSU played against Iowa, it was meant for South Carolina. It was meant for Dawn Staley in South Carolina. That's my honest opinion. It was meant for South Carolina. It was meant for LSU to get their lick back because early in the season they got blown out.
Yeah, I saw that, and they got blown up by South Carolina, right?
By South Carolina, and that was their. I think that was their only loss on this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that SEC women's basketball is something else, man.
It is.
It's on another level.
It is.
Yeah, so, it's really good.
But if you think about it, looking at the game, both teams, both girls was chirping. They was they was chirping, they was talking trash, they was talking smack. You
Oh yeah,
know, Caitlyn did the John Cena, you can't see
yeah,
me,
yeah.
and
She got
and
Louisville and South Carolina.
yeah, she got both of them.
She got both of them.
And then Angel, because the game was way out of hand at the time, she pointed at a finger for the ring finger, like
Yeah.
she about to get that ring,
Oh yeah.
and she did the "you can't see me." I like that's the best thing about college sport, like having the kids go out there being natural with what they do, and just talk trash and be competitive. Um, but people just being ignorant. People being ignorant
Well, I think
on
the
the
main
internet.
thing too now, Doc, is that Angel got that Ali in her. You got a lot of people, they want them black athletes, whether it's male or female, to
Right.
play, but they don't want to hear what they got to say. And Angel's not one of them people that's going to close her mouth.
Oh
And
no.
that's how Ali was. A lot of people loved Ali. I mean, a lot of people in the country love to see him fight as a fighter, but what they didn't
Hmm.
like was his mouth. They thought he talked too much. And that's what it was with Angel. See, Angel ain't backing down to them people.
Right.
She told them, listen, whatever.
And y'all got a Angel from Baltimore, Maryland.
Right. She from Baltimore, Maryland, baby. That's right.
she, she is
Yeah.
not. She is not scared. She is not
Uh-uh.
scared. She's not gonna back down for nobody.
Mm-mm.
I think that's because when they lost to South Carolina, she didn't she didn't what my mom would say, she didn't bitch, she didn't complain, she didn't do none of that stuff. She went back out there and they balled.
Oh, yeah. And she's a baller, too.
I mean, but both girls was talking trash. They was talking trash, but looking at it, and I'm turning on my Twitter because I really didn't pay attention to Twitter on Sunday, y'all. So I'm looking, and I'm just seeing all these comments, these nasty comments, like just comment. They just comment left and right,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, it's a basketball game. I'm like, bro, it's a basketball game. They hoop. If you go play, it's just like this. Mr. Ford, you go play on that playground, you play
Yeah.
basketball on the blacktop, you're going to
Oh, yeah.
talk shit.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
You're going to talk. You're going to talk your noise. It don't matter if the person suck, if they was good, or anything. You're going to talk your noise. And that's what we grew up on. Older generation, we grew up on, you on the court. We talk noise. So they doing what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Just
She's a
because
player.
just because Caitlin Clark White and from Iowa don't mean nothing. That girl was talking straight. She was talking cash stuff
Yes, she
and was
was.
dishing it out at the same time too. So
Yeah. She's a player.
that's the difference.
Yeah. She's a
Of
player.
yeah. So you got people like you got people like Keith Olbermann who opened his big mouth.
And listen, this is not the first time for him. He's
Nah,
always been like that.
um, it just Blue said it just. He said it the best. A bunch of grown ass adults being upset over the most minor trash talk I've seen worse in little league games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think like go to a Pop Warner football game and just sit on the sideline with some kids with the
Or
parents
the parents. Or
with
the
the parents
parents.
with the parents.
Yeah.
The missus over here, and she was at a Pop Warner game right now. She be cussing at everybody on the sideline. She would be going in on the ref. She go in on the coach. She don't care. She just want to see good. That's just in her nature. She want to see good competitive sports. Good competitive sports, but good sportsmanship also too, because that's what we supposed to teach our kids.
Right. Right.
But
Now, Doc, I came from a generation. If you talk now, the coaches would snatch you. I'm from the '70s. If you
oh
did
yeah,
all
yeah,
that talking, they would snatch you.
oh
You
yeah,
got to come out. They wouldn't let you talk. Now, the only time we saw Ali on TV and he would be talking cash, when he would be fighting Frazier. But basically at that time, they wouldn't let you talk. They wouldn't let you. They wouldn't let you talk.
Yeah, you got
I
guys
thought it.
like Keith Olbermann, and then you got the biggest one was the president, the the founder of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy.
Oh yeah, he was awful, but he's racist anyway.
Yeah,
Barstool is basically racist.
yeah. I
Yeah,
had
they
after I
racist.
seen I ain't even know too much about it. I had to unfollow me on Twitter. I had somebody look at me like, I'm trying to save you. I'm like, look, I've already unfollowed them. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
I know where
yeah,
you come from.
yeah. I started keeping up with them because of Coach Sadness, because of Prime, and that's when I realized what that was all about.
Right.
I heard some of their stuff. It's ridiculous.
And you um it's funny because I was looking on Twitter today and I'm looking at Wallow and Gilly. So Wallow puts out uh a video saying that they're only associated with Barstool Sports. They don't work for them. Um, they're their own brand. Of course, you're gonna say you're your own brand because it's your it's your podcast, it's your show.
Right.
But in a sense, Barstool funds your money. They give you your money.
Yeah.
You get paid from them. So unfortunately, you work for Barstool Sports. To me, you work for Barstool Sports.
Now,
And
Doc, now where are they headquartered from? Is that Boston or where they from?
Portnoy is from Boston. He's
Okay, the
he's
Boston, the headquarters for Barstool is Boston.
yeah, so he's big, he's big Celtics, Patriots,
Okay,
Red
right.
Sox,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
Bruins.
You know the history of all that you just called out.
Right. Hmm.
You know the history of the Red Sox, first, last team to integrate. Uh, that's who else that you said? The Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, the Celtics were the first team to play start five blacks in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did you say? You said,
The
oh, the Boston
Bruins.
Bruins. Yeah, the Bruins was something else for many years.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of history up in there.
So I'm like, the way he's saying, like, she's classless, she's this tasteless, like, dude, she ain't over 20 years old.
Right.
Do you talk to your kids like that when they,
Yeah.
when they mess up? Or if you feel like they messed up, do you talk to them like that?
Yeah.
And just those comments alone, just it just turned. I ain't saying turn my stomach, but it infuriated me, y'all. Like I was like, you know what? I'm really am about to get off of Twitter right now. I'm really am about to get off of Twitter and just don't go on there no more. Y'all just follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. Just follow me on those platforms. But I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna stay right there. But just tweet after tweet after tweet about it, and it's everything is still about Angel Reese. And I was like, you know what? This makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, they just showing you the hatred for us. That's all. That's all that is. Because that young lady Clark did it. Like I said, 2 games. She did it to Louisville. Then she did it to South Carolina. Same thing.
And the best thing about Caitlin Clark is she's saying that she said like it's nothing wrong. Like
Yeah,
she
because
went
that's
out.
what they were saying. They said that when Caitlin Clark did it, the media said it showed how strong she was, how gritty she was, how this and that. And then as soon as Angel did it, oh, it's disrespectful. She low class. She ghetto. She hood. Okay, so we know about the double standard now.
Right,
We knew about the double standard.
right. So they just it just kind of it put me back to a spotlight where, you know what, some people need to shut their mouth and do, you know, get on about their business. But the crazy thing is, somebody said that another person on Barstool Sports didn't even say anything, didn't have nothing to say, and that was Dion.
No, he never has nothing to say when it comes to Barstool. But historically, now this is not the first time this has happened. You know, if you go back and read about the great boxer who was also your homeboy, Jack Johnson. One
Mm-hmm.
of the things they hated about Jack Johnson, besides his off the ring relationships, but the fact that he talked.
Right.
But one of the things that happened when Joe Louis came on the scene, his handlers told him he could not have any conversation with Jack Johnson, and he could never have him at his practices or his sparring sessions. He could have
Right.
nothing to do with Jack Johnson. So this is not new now. This is not new. Like,
Okay.
I mean, the recent history is definitely Ali now, and how they blackballed Ali. They basically tried to bankrupt him and run him in the ground.
Right. Let's see. We got says he asked us, do we think UConn men can repeat again?
I don't know about listen. You know, I'm not. You know, me and you done talked about this. I still say the best basketball is that Big 12. Now, if they can conquer the Big 12 next year, yeah, they
Right.
can. But now let me just say this: for the last 10, possibly 15 years, the best men's college basketball has been in that Big 12. That listen, when you start talking about that Kansas, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, that's good basketball. That's good basketball.
Yeah.
And
So
I know they'll be back next year. Those people, you know, Kansas will be back. Bill
and,
Self will be back. They will be back now.
and the thing about with UConn is they're not in the American no more. They went back to the
No,
Big
baby.
East. They went
But
back to
not with Rick Pitino coming to Madison Square Garden, you're gonna have this Hurley at what
UConn.
Utah, Ed Cooley going to Georgetown. Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. The Big East is getting ready to come back. And I'm not saying they're gonna be as good as the Big 12, but they on an upward trajectory.
You got Creighton. That was
Oh
a Sweet
yes, Craig,
16
that's a
team.
good program. That guy
Um.
Xavier,
Mm-hmm.
that Shaka Smart over at Marquette.
Yep.
Listen, that Big East is it's always been good basketball, but they getting ready to be one of the top. Like I said, I'm not saying they're gonna overtake the Big 12, but they're gonna be one of the top conferences, like it used to be in the '80s.
Right. And I'm gonna say this too. Don't sleep on the SEC also. So you got teams that's gonna reload. Like
Oh yeah,
Alabama, you got
oh yeah,
um you got um Tennessee.
yeah,
Tennessee's gonna
yeah.
reload
Rick is
up.
good. Rick is
Uh
good.
you got even Vanderbilt, you don't really hear
Yeah,
too much about
Stackhouse.
Vanderbilt with
Yeah,
Stackhouse over at
yeah.
Vanderbilt. He's
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna he's gonna reload, and Auburn. You still got Bruce
yeah.
Pearl running the show.
Bruce Pearl. Yeah. Now he comes in here and tap all his talent in Georgia. The boys' talent in Georgia, he comes and get it all. He comes in here and get it all.
Mr. Campbell said Ed Cooley gonna bring Georgetown back. I think he
I'm
will
telling you,
because
that guy's a great coach, man.
I think Patrick Ewing couldn't do it because he was trying to live in that mystique of Big John Thompson, and I don't think nobody can be Big John Thompson. Nobody
No,
can be that man right there. That
no,
man is legendary just by his own right.
yeah,
His own son who coached
couldn't do it.
Georgetown. He could. I mean, he
Yeah,
had
he
the
couldn't.
teams, but he was not gonna be like his dad.
No, no. He wanted to be Pete Carell. He didn't want to be his dad. He wanted to be Pete Carell up at Princeton, and that
Hmm.
did not work at Georgetown and in the Big East. And that's why nobody has hired him since. They've tried to get him jobs. Nobody will take him.
Man, but they didn't get that man back on the court though, for real. Like JT3, get him back on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He needs
Nobody's hired him since he lost a job at Georgetown.
don't sleep on the ACC with Miami.
Oh
I'm
yeah, that
thinking
guy's good. Jim, that's Jimmy
Larinaga.
Lariega.
Mm-hmm.
Larinaga. Okay, yeah, he's really good. Now
Uh,
he's a part of that old New York high school basketball scene.
right.
Jack Kerr and them, and that Archbishop Malloy, Powell Memorial. That he's connected to that. Like the Hurley kid, his dad at one time was the biggest high school program, one of the biggest high school programs in New Jersey.
At St. Anthony's.
That's right. He turned out some David Rivers, them both of them boys, Bobby Hurley. Uh, he turned out some boys out at St. Anthony's now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he had Kyle. I think he had Kyle Anderson. They call him Slow Mo. He's in the NBA right now. I think he's from St. Anthony's
Yeah,
also.
I think because he's been there for many. His daddy was at St. Anthony's for years.
Mm.
I can remember him as far back as the 80s.
Then we got still in the ACC. I think North Carolina will make a bounce. They'll bounce back.
Oh, no doubt. You know, what's the name has been told he got to go. The Love kid out of St. Louis, he's got to go. Baco
uh,
is back, but they had
yeah,
like 4 or 5 kids transferred. Oh,
yeah,
they gonna rebuild that program.
yeah. Rebuild it.
They gotta rebuild that. Yeah, they gonna rebuild that. If Roy have
And
to do it himself, you don't have to worry. They gonna
and
bring them back.
and then we also I think that's it. The Big Ten pretty much is gonna be um you can say Michigan State because they're always in it.
Oh,
Uh,
Tommy, how many titles does he have?
Izzo, I think he only got 2.
He got
Either
2.
one,
Yeah,
one or
because he's something else. That guy's something else.
Ohio State, Michigan is Juwan Howard can get it
He's
can get it together.
underachieving. Jawan is underachieving. His center is the biggest name in that transfer portal right now. He has a 7-foot center. Is it Dickerson? What's that
Mm,
kid's name? Everybody in the country wants that kid.
wow.
Yeah. Jawan is underachieving.
Yeah, so
He's underachieving.
he
He
got
got it. Listen, he got put out of the NIT.
yep,
He
yep,
got put out of the NIT.
yep. Let's the American Conference, Memphis gonna come back.
Oh yeah,
You add
yeah,
in you
yeah,
add in North Texas, who won
yeah,
the NIT. You
yeah.
add in FAU coming in, who was a Final Four participant.
Oh yeah,
You got some other teams that's coming in from. You got Rice, you got UTSA, you got those teams coming in from the Conference USA, um, to kind of offset for them losing Houston, uh, Cincinnati, and Central Florida. So
yeah,
it to me, it's going to make that conference a little bit more stronger.
yeah. I think
Now,
it is too.
now it's gonna and UAB. Now it's gonna put Penny and his squad at the top because
Yeah, yeah.
he
He'll
pretty
be at
much
the top.
he'll pretty much bring back majority of the whole team
Right. With talent.
with talent, and he
With
can go out
talent.
there and get talent. That man,
Yeah,
it's crazy. He don't have to leave out of Memphis to go get
yeah.
the talent.
Memphis is the basketball city. It's one of the best basketball cities, high school basketball cities in the country. It's kind of like how Louisville used to be when Denny Crum was in with the Cardinals. He
Mm-hmm.
really didn't have to go out of Louisville.
Yeah.
There was so much talent in Louisville.
So it's
Memphis
gonna
has
be
always been like that.
so it's gonna be a good sight to see
Yeah.
for college basketball coming up for next season.
And I thought
Uh,
I saw now is this true? I thought I saw that the SWAC made 1.7 million for Texas Southern being it. Is that true?
they probably did. They get some
I thought
money
I
out
saw
of
it somewhere. They got 1.7 million. The money is not given to Texas Southern. The money is given to the SWAC office, and then the SWAC office gives whatever to Texas Southern. Because when it listed, because I want to say I saw the ACC from the tournament, they got $36 million.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got 30. Not this one, but last year's 22 tournament. They got they made $36 million off of the tournament as a conference.
and it's gonna be nice to see. So we got some more. Let's jump into some more football as far as
Um,
HBCUs. I've already gave my assessment as Blue gave his assessment for Alcorn on Saturday night.
oh yeah. I listened to Blue last night. Now BJ Jones says that if FAMU is going to beat Jackson State, it has to be this year.
It
That's
got to
one
be
of the
this
things.
year.
He said
It
it's
has,
got to be this year. If they're going to beat them, they got to beat them this year.
it got to be this year because not man. That's what 5 in a row.
It's
Yeah,
5 in a row now.
it'll be. Um, I'm trying to figure out what the years we beat them when they was still in the MEAC. So we beat them twice
I
already.
know. Yeah, that Hendricks guy beat them. Then you remember that miracle game? Didn't y'all beat them in a miracle game? Or got through a bomb at the end of the game?
Yeah, that was. I think that
That was
was
Earl
GM.
Holmes. I think Earl Holmes was coaching them
Yeah,
then.
he was closing in.
So you're
So
right.
that's
So
four.
it's
That's
4.
four.
So it's five in a row.
Yeah, be 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, I already got Mr. Campbell. Got him jumping.
What did Mr. Campbell say?
You talking about this year? What are they? that, that is what happens when you have two teams make. Well, now that's he's still
He
talking.
said, "What now?"
Um, he's saying this year or what? What does that even mean? Hey, y'all
What?
gotta beat us.
Yeah. BJ felt. He said last night that this is the year because you got some new stuff at Jackson, and if they're gonna beat them, they got to beat them this year.
Gotta
So
gotta beat us. You gotta beat them.
yeah,
Hey, yeah, and plus y'all start. That's y'all season opener. You know
yeah,
that, Mr. Campbell. That's your season opener against
and,
Jackson State.
in Miami, Florida, at what's that Hard Rock Stadium?
It's the
Well,
last year for it.
yeah, I'll be glad. Doc. I don't like that. I don't like Jackson and Fam opening up like that.
Well, I got word from Zoe yesterday. He said that
Mhm.
there with FCS teams are going to play 12 games next year.
What?
Yeah,
Woo! Oh, that's some more money.
yep. That means more home games too.
Yeah. They're gonna play 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay.
So
Now we got to find a way to make sure every kid gets what name, likeness, and image. Now,
yes,
if we're
sir.
gonna play them 12 games, all them kids got to get some money.
Yes, sir. So I know we talked last night. They talked about quarterback play. Top returning quarterbacks come in the SWAC. That's coming
Uh,
back in the SWAC. So the only top quarterbacks you got coming back in the SWAC is Jeremy Musa, Andrew
Andrew
Gotti,
Bond. What about the kid the boy from Texas that's down at Alabama State?
Demetrius Davis. Yes, he's coming back.
Because I'm now, Doc. I done said this over and over. I'm ready for him to have that breakout year because that kid right there. There's some talent in that young man. We need to see it next year. Now he got to put it on display. But I talked to some people, and I heard Blue say it too. They brought in a top high school coach to be his quarterback coach, and I think that maybe the play caller. So I think we're gonna see a big improvement with D. Davis next year.
I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope so.
I see. Because when I looked at his film in high school, that man, listen,
Yes,
that kid's something else, man.
I know it's high school. You differentiate high school from college ball, but when he
Right,
was in high school, just looking at the play calling and it just it he was comfortable. Like he was comfortable in the pocket, uh, even when he had to get out of the pocket because remember, this dude ain't nothing but like 5'9".
right. Tyler
5'10",
Murray type.
yeah, 5'10" on a good day.
Hey, right.
Um, he can get out the pocket. He can sling the ball. Cause his
Yeah,
first thing is to throw the ball. I don't even if you looked at it last season, he really didn't want to throw the ball. I mean, he really didn't want to run that much. He wanted to show his arm, but he put himself in situations, predicaments to where he holds on to the ball too much.
Yeah. I just thought the offense coordination at Alabama State was awful last year. I really did. I just thought it was terrible.
Uh oh. My guy said Davis might not be the starter for opening day for Bama State. Simpson might be just the missing piece E-Rob needs.
Who do they say? Who's the missing piece?
Simpson is, I guess, is a QB that they got in.
Is that the kid from California?
Might be.
I think I read something about him. And he thinks that kid gonna come in and play before D Davis?
Hey, that's the reason why they call it spring ball. Jordan
Yeah.
Simpson. Okay, I'm gonna read up on him. See how he.
What's his name again?
Jordan Simpson. Yeah, he's from you'd say he's from California.
Yeah, I saw they signed him. I remember. Yeah, he was in the signing class. But we'll see. We'll see.
There's a lot to see. You know.
Yeah.
That's why they call it That's why we call the predictions way too early, because it's way too early until it actually counts. So.
Alabama State is kind of like LSU used to be. Before Nick Saban, LSU had all this talent, but they never could put it together. Mm-hmm. That's how Alabama State is. They got all this talent all over the place on that football program, but they can't put it together. When Nick Saban came, he woke up a sleeping giant called LSU. Right. And then he took them to a national championship. That's what they need at Alabama State. They need somebody to wake that giant up. Mm-hmm. Because they got some players. They got some players at Alabama State. I'm telling you now, and they bringing in some players.
And I don't even think Eddie Robinson was a bad coach either. I mean, he did good. I mean, for him to be a defensive guy.
Their problem was all offensive. Yeah. Listen, they ran the ball 24 times. No, they ran the ball 38 times against FAMU. They gained 24 yards for a net of 0.3 or 0.4. When you come up with them kind of numbers, it's somebody needs to be demoted. Okay? And I'm telling you, they played without an offense and they still won, 6 games?
Yep.
They won 6 games.
They were third in the SWAC East.
Listen. Now, from what Blue says, this guy that they brought in, he's won some state championships at Pike County or somewhere. But he's supposed to be good, so I'm waiting to see him. Yeah.
So it's all about Uncle said that watch out for Maurice Harris' offense next year at JSU.
Oh, without a doubt.
From what I'm hearing, a lot of what I'm hearing, it's tempo.
Yeah.
It's tempo. It's different formations. Basically, gonna look. It's quick. They said it's just gonna be quick tempo. I like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be an upgrade. It's gonna be an upgrade.
Catch the defense slipping.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw this guy interview. This guy, he is a head coach. That Maurice Harris guy is a head coach. Mm-hmm. He's a head coach.
I think he is going to be.
Yeah.
If he stay at Jackson State for at least two years.
Yeah.
He's on somebody's radar.
Right, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I saw. I don't know. You know your friend that makes all them excuses for A&T, but I got to admit, listen, their offense is going to be more explosive than it's been in the past. Okay. I saw some highlights from the spring game.
Yeah.
Oh, they can throw it, they can run it, they can dink and dunk, they can vertical, they can go deep. It's going to be some offensive firepower in Greensboro this year.
Oh man.
Now I'm not saying they're going to win that CAA. But it's going to be upgraded offensively from what I say.
I think it would be a good upgrade, though.
Yeah, I think it is too. It's going to be an upgrade because they spreading that wealth around on that offensive side.
So all the teams. So we only got 3 schools that have returning starters at quarterback. Pine Bluff is bringing in a new signal caller.
Right.
They move away from Skylar Perry.
Right.
They really move away from Doc Gamble because it was a shut up a program after the spring season.
Right.
You have Grambling that's they can have a starter that's coming back in Julian Calvez. They can go with Miles Crawley. It all depends on how that quarterback battle is going for Grambling. I haven't heard too much about what's going on in Grambling with the spring practice,
Right.
but um, if I could get some ears, if I get my ear to the ground and ask some
Hey,
people around,
Doc, what happened to the kid from Texas, Chance Army? Did he leave?
Chance Amy.
Amy?
I haven't heard if he left or not, but I have to see.
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh.
Hey, good evening, fellas. I just had to come in because I'm down here chatting. I'm actually reading my book, and Mr. Ford, good evening to
Hey,
you, sir.
how you doing?
Pretty good, man. I've been taking your advice still. I remember months ago when you said everybody need to read at least a book a week, so
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been doing it. I'm reading right now. I'm reading the Whiteness of Wealth
Oh, yeah.
by
Oh, yeah.
Dorothy A. Brown. Yeah, it's
Okay.
how the tax system it empowers Black Americans and how
Always.
we can fix it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
tax
so
us for being black.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. But now I had made a comment. Actually, I know Coach Harris personally.
Yeah.
And when I first moved to Memphis, he was still my former job moved me to Memphis. He was
Right.
still the coach. He was still the coach at Whitehaven.
Okay.
Um, and they won 4 straight state championships. And I
Okay.
want you to guess how much they was averaging a game
Like 60 a game, wasn't it?
in offense. No,
Was it 40?
higher,
It was
70?
higher than
higher.
60?
They was averaging 62 points a game.
Whoa.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Campbell, did you hear that?
And the
Did you hear
crazy
that,
part
Mr.
about it
Campbell?
is,
Hey.
you remember a couple months back, Doc, when I had broke and I had told y'all that I'm up here recruiting in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the little brother came to Jackson State.
Okay, I'm on.
That's why.
Oh man, see,
And you know what high school he went to?
went to Whitehaven.
Yeah, he was at Whitehaven. Yeah.
That's Aubrey's brother.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why he came. That's why he came to Jackson State.
Whoa.
You know that boy last year only touched the ball 40 times and scored 26 touchdowns.
What? Hold on now.
Oh.
Time out.
Yeah. Yeah.
40.
See, I'm in Memphis, so yeah. See, I'm in Memphis, so I keep up, with football, high school football around because each game be so packed, on Friday nights around here.
Right.
So
Uh-huh.
it's like every game, every high school, it's like I guess you could say like a rivalry game, like every Friday night, and you just really just pick one, and I also that he let me know. Cause see, I couldn't because I'm a Hugh Freeze fan,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And I really am. I really am. People, yeah, you could say, the other stuff, and that's fine. Okay, fine. But I will say this. Coach Harris told me, he said the last 2 years at Liberty, he called every play.
whoa.
Every play.
That means
Whoa.
that he called the plays when Malik Willis was the QB.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's when they was beating
let
the
me
ACC up.
share with you. Let me
Yeah.
share with you why. You remember when Coach Freeze had the back surgery. Remember that?
Right. I
And he
remember.
had to
Yeah.
be upstairs. He had to be
Yeah.
upstairs, and they had him like a special little bed. Where he can, because at the time he was calling play. It was like almost 4 years ago.
Right.
And what happened was Coach Freeze was actually getting tired because he noticed that while they were in practice, that and they was game planning, when they would come, like on Tuesday to implement this week's game plan, Coach Harris already had it ready.
Well, listen. Let me say this to you. Now, I ain't trying to start nothing, but do you think Harris could turn Tennessee State around?
I believe so. Well, the biggest thing is Mr. Ford is that they gonna have to get some offensive linemen because DJ, that's one of my partners. That's his son. Well, we
Okay.
call him DJ, but it's Draylon Ellis. They gonna have to get their trench work right because he took a bad beating.
Yeah.
The young
Right.
man he played with a lot of people didn't know. I think Blue knew, but he played with two cracked ribs like the
Ooh.
last 4 games. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, uh-huh. He played with
So
like two
has he
cracked
healed
ribs.
now? Is he still
Oh,
playing
oh
with
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh yeah, these kids, Miss Ford, they like the Wolverine at that
Oh
age.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
off season, they'll be hurt and then 2 weeks later during Christmas holiday, they healed. So them young folks. But yes, sir, he had played with a it's like it was he had like a hairline fracture, like in the bottom rib cage. He did.
Well, let me do another one. I ain't trying to start nothing.
Okay.
But in your opinion,
Okay.
who should have been brought to Memphis once Jackson State pulled out? And I know you're not going to tell me no Arkansas Pine Bluff.
No,
Who should have
no. I
replaced
think
Jackson?
Tennessee. No, I think I'm gonna tell you who I think should have been at that game. It should have been this is just my opinion.
Uh-huh.
I think Fam should have taken that challenge
Right.
and bring
Okay.
it back
Okay.
old school. I think
Right. That's it.
FAMU and Tennessee State
Big
would have been
State.
a
Yeah.
huge classic. That would have been
Yeah.
because they never really liked each other like that.
Yeah.
From my years. I ain't number 46, but from what
Yeah.
I remember as a child, I
Yeah.
remember them always not liking each other.
Listen,
Who said
I'm up there,
Alcorn?
but all my life it was Tennessee State and FAMU. My hometown was 50 miles from the campus of Florida A&M. Anytime Tennessee State came to Tallahassee, my hometown was in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
That was a
yes,
big
sir.
game. That was a
It
big game.
was. Yeah,
Luke,
and I think they should have. In my humble opinion, I think they should have ran it. They should have run it back, but politics and
Right.
all the
Right.
hoopla and stuff. But in my opinion, I thought they should have run it back though, just for the fans.
Right.
But
For the nostalgia.
I just
Yeah.
think everybody has like their own little thing going on or whatever. But just for the fans, and also the way because Tennessee State they'll travel for that game because it's right there, and then of course FAMU for a classic they'll definitely show it.
Oh yeah.
They
Now
have
Tennessee
a
State's
history.
biggest game is the Memphis game, right?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
That's their biggest
yeah,
game. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
But Luke
that's
said
they.
Alcorn should have been the team to play Tennessee State also.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alcorn.
Alcorn.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Alcorn. I think Alcorn would have posed a great challenge for him.
Right. Now,
Because
has there
of
ever been a
McNair and
history? Listen, has there ever been a history between? I've never heard it, but has there ever been a history between Alcorn and Tennessee State?
no
Have
sir.
they? Okay, that's right.
But
Okay,
I'm like blue with that. I feel him on that because really, um, Coach McNair can reunite with his brothers, deceased brother's best friend because
oh yeah,
Eddie George
That's
that
right.
was his
That's
best
right.
friend.
Yeah, and they were
Uh
frat
huh.
brothers, right? All them
Yes
fraternity
sir.
brothers.
And
Yeah,
they were actually best friends too.
yeah, that's right. I remember. Oh yeah.
So yeah, they were actually best
Oh
friends.
yeah.
So I think that would have been good. But from a fan's perspective, from my take, from a fan's perspective, I
Hmm.
think fam, you should have stepped up to that challenge.
Right.
I really
Right.
do.
That's it.
That
Because
Yeah.
would have
it would
been
have it
another
would have
way.
been it would have been a packed house
That
for
would
Yeah.
have
real.
been another way to get to like you said to get that rivalry to get it restarted, jump started back up again.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Have
because
them.
I want to
Hmm.
see it come back. I need for it to come back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, from a tradition, wise, they don't too much care for one another. So,
Oh, that's a deep
I
rivalry
would have
there.
loved to seen that one. I would
Oh
have loved
man.
to seen that one. That would have
Used,
been a
that's,
good one there.
we used to
Yeah,
watch
but
that game when they was
Yeah, that'd be a
they
good
played
one
in
there.
Atlanta.
But like I said though, man, Maurice Harris, I'm not saying it because I'm a Jack State fan, but
right.
uh, graduate, well, but it I'm telling you, a lot of people thinking and I'm thinking they just praying for the JSU fall off because of the story that it will make That's what I
Right.
think a lot of these swag fans are. They just like, they type because, and let's just be honest, everybody knows that even when Jackson State was down those years,
Yeah.
Jackson State is still everybody's Super Bowl. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody every week.
Yeah.
Some people have to be honest. I got friends that went to Southern and all that, and they even admitted it. Like,
Well,
man,
let me
if I
ask this
don't win no
question
other
right here.
game, I want to beat Jackson. They
Let me ask
always
this
say,
question.
Hmm.
yes, sir.
There was somebody on the internet maybe 2 or 3 days ago. He's saying that Jackson needs a home and a home with Southern Miss. What's your thoughts on that? He's saying that they should go to to Hattiesburg and then they should come to Jackson. What do y'all think about that?
Well,
Well, I don't think it'll happen because one reason is because Jackson State right now, the way the program is,
we too hot.
it's too hot, and USM will mess around and lose because what they'll do, they'll stack that line. They'll stack that line and just Frank Gore's son, because they're gonna have a quarterback to beat
Right.
Jackson State. They're gonna have
Right.
to. They're gonna have to. Really to beat Jackson State this year, you're going to have a quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you are in trouble.
So you
Because
saying
number
Southern
one,
Miss
you're gonna have
don't
to
want to?
keep up. You're gonna have to really keep up scoring.
So
That's the
Southern Miss
thing.
don't want no part of Jackson right now.
Nope. They said
No,
that ship sailed in
no,
1987 after they
no,
played them.
no, 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 And people talk about the trenches with
Right.
JSU. Do you realize people still ain't seen that big boy from USC? He done lost 30 pounds. I saw him 3 weeks ago. Maximus Gibbs.
Yeah,
That
that's right.
boy's walking around. He's walking around 340 right now and lean with it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him in the gym, squatting 750. I saw that with my own eyes.
Yeah, some people said that as far as the USM thing going, nah, it ain't happening. They don't
It's
want
not
to.
going to
Yeah,
happen.
but
It's
I
not going to
will
happen.
say
They
this:
want
Jackson
if
State
they do.
trenches are going to look very, 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 very different. Now they're gonna miss Tyler Brown, which shouts out to Tyler Brown. Found out he is the best O lineman up there at Colorado right now.
Mm.
Everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it. And also shouts out to Miss Dr. Tamia Potter. She's the first African American to be accepted into the Vanderbilt University Medical School
Yeah, she's a FAMU
residence
graduate.
as a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, that's
She's
FAMU.
the
She's a
first.
FAMU graduate, right?
Yes, sir. She's a
Yeah,
FAMU graduate.
FAMU graduate. Yeah, I read about her. Yeah,
She graduated in 2018 from FAMU
right.
and went to somewhere in Regents or something, some medical school, Mr. Ford. But
Uh-huh.
she's the very first African American to ever get accepted into the neurosurgeon residency program in
Right.
Vanderbilt's history.
Oh yeah.
And they
Oh yeah.
said a young lady has never made a beat in her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I read something about her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Oh
shouts
yeah.
out to her family,
Yeah.
HBCUs. You have to understand that we can produce and we're designed to produce people like that.
Oh yeah.
And, shouts out to her parents, and her. Really, it starts with her as well. But, shouts out to that young lady. I just wanted to put that out there, because at the end of the day, we are the culture. And
Oh yeah.
she's definitely representing us well. And, I admire the young lady, and I think she's gonna do well. I really
Right.
do.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for all y'all swag fans out there, you know what our title song is. It starts with a G and the other one with an R. Get ready. Yeah, get ready. Get ready. I'm telling you, man, like a lot of people are really counting Jackson State out. But I have been doing my scouting now from school to school.
Mm-hmm.
FAMU has a stud. This young man named Kelvin Dean. If you
Wide
go to
receiver.
YouTube, man, they got
What's
him
his
listed as an
position?
athlete. He could play running back and wide receiver, slot, whatever. But
Is he coming from high school or is it transfer? What is he?
He's a transfer from FAU, and he is a stud.
Okay.
I'm talking
All right.
about 10 running 10-1-100s.
Yeah, that kid played for Willie Taggart.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yes, he
I think
did.
I've seen that kid. Yeah,
Yes, he did, and he
yeah,
is a stud. I'm
yeah.
gonna give. I gotta give. I gotta give Mr. Uncle Campbell props on that one, y'all.
Oh yeah.
That's a great pickup. Because when I saw him, I was like, man, who is this little old running like this? And I looked him up and looked up his highlights. Oh yeah, he's a stud.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and matter of fact, he's X-Man times 2 for all you FAMU fans. Yeah, he's that man that times 2. When he gets the ball in space, you know you better watch out. That boy that
What's
he
his
can fly.
hometown? What was his hometown?
He is somewhere in Florida.
Yeah.
He want them Florida. He want them chasing because he had
Oh
some
yeah.
YouTube.
It
He
didn't
had
say
some YouTube
Fairglade,
guy
did it?
chase. You know how they be in Florida, how they be chasing them rabbits to
Yes,
get fast.
yes,
Yeah, he
yes,
had he
He,
had a
yes,
video
he
out
must be
chasing
from the
them
he from the
rabbits and stuff.
Glades then. He must be
yes.
Mm-hmm.
he from the Glades.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's 141 people in here. Let's like this. Let's get this show up to 100 likes, y'all.
Yeah, but
And let's get
like
to
I said, but
donation.
Jackson State gonna be fine. They actually gonna be more than fine. They got more. And see, a lot of these white people don't realize that Jackson State. And I'm not saying this because I'm a fan. I'm saying this because I'm a fan of football. Period. Jackson State got some studs, and everybody talking about because Durante left and this person left. Have you seen have you seen that running back from Walford? Why is nobody talking about him?
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
That boy is
I remember him.
6'2", 235 pounds and runs a 4.4.
Mm,
Whoa.
He's at Jackson State right now. He's there right now. He's there right now.
yeah.
Like and they talking about Durante Davis. Man, just do better research on these schools because I'm not gonna lie, I do it. When people be out there talking noise, I'm steady Googling, looking up school. But you better watch out for this young man from LSU. Do you know who was his roommate? His roommate was Harold Perkins. The
That's the
only
kid from
reason why
Georgia.
this young man didn't touch the field was because he and Harold Perkins played the same position.
This the kid from Georgia, right?
Yes,
With the
the
Grayson, I
LSU
think.
transfer.
That's
That's
right.
the
I know who you're talking
LSU
about.
transfer.
That's six.
He's
What he
at the
6'5",
LSU.
6'6".
Yes,
Philip, we talking
the
about Philip
only I'm
Webb.
gonna say this again for us aficionados. Harold Perkins was top 10 recruit, ended up going to LSU. Then you had this guy that's at Jackson State now. The only reason why this young man did not touch the field because they played the same position, and he's been
Oh yeah.
used to starting
Oh yeah.
all his life. He's there, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to see. Like they keep saying, the talent, huh? You realize Jackson State got got a lineman from University of Minnesota coming
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah.
then
I
they
know
got
that.
a sleeper. Thanks to me because I'm trying to get my little play nephew to go on transfer. He's as a grad transfer, and he started 4 years at University of Indiana.
Mm,
Yeah, look him up. His name is Matthew Bedford. He started 4 years at
And he's from Memphis.
Indiana.
Where
He's
is he
from
from?
Memphis.
He's
He's
from
from
Memphis.
Memphis. He's from Memphis.
He's not
And
related to William Bedford, is he?
of course that's William Bedford. That's his grandson. Yeah,
No,
that's
that's
his
William Bedford's
grandson.
grandson.
That's his good. His son William's son name is Glenn. Glennis. Well, we call him
Yeah.
Glenn. That's his son. That's
William
his.
played
That's
for
his.
Dana Kirk, right?
Yes, that's his grandson.
Oh
You
man.
probably ain't seen him in years. That boy's 6'7", about 340 pounds. Now,
No.
yeah. And I'm trying to get him to go ahead, but if he stays I'll say this, if he stays at Indiana, he'll probably be, top four rounds next year.
Right.
But the only reason why he didn't declare this year because he tore his ACL in the second game of this year.
Okay. Okay.
This was his senior year.
Right.
He's eligible, for that year and as a graduate transfer too, because he
So he
didn't
got
play with
2 years
COVID because
left.
he caught COVID.
So he got 2
Yeah, he
years
caught
left.
COVID.
Man.
See, during that COVID year, he actually caught it. So he had to do all his stuff online. But I'm trying to get him to come to Jackson State. This man has, like I said, he was a true freshman starting in the Big Ten. That as a lineman, that's hard to do because
Yeah.
that's where all the great linemen come from, the Big
Right.
Ten.
Especially that Wisconsin and
That's
Michigan
where
and
all of them
Ohio
come
State.
from.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah, boy.
you look at the linemen that come from Iowa, the
Iowa,
linemen that
that's
come from
right.
Penn State.
Yeah, Penn
Penn
State.
State, you got
Yeah,
Michigan State,
State. Yeah.
Purdue. I mean, if they don't produce anything else, they will produce, linemen up
Yeah.
that way,
And sometimes a
because it's a
quarterback.
slower kind of,
Yeah.
right. And it's a physical type of, conference.
Yeah.
The
It is.
only reason why they run into a buzzsaw is because when they come down south, not only these athletes, they're big, but they're fast too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
reason why they run into buzzsaw like
But
that,
and the
because
other reason that the Big Ten has to play physical is because by October there's snow coming. You ain't throwing no football in no snow.
Yeah, you
You got
playing
to
you got to
run
smash
it.
run that ball.
football.
Yeah, you
You
got to
got to
run
run
that
that
ball.
ball.
Playing smash
Yeah.
Yeah,
mouth
you got to
football.
run. Yeah, you
Now,
got to run it. That's why every team up there, and if you look at the scope of that whole league up there,
Right.
that's why you see so many 1,000-yard backs all across that country,
That's
all
right.
across that
Yeah.
conference.
Oh yeah.
Because like you said, late October, it's so cold up
Yeah,
there
there's snow
that
coming.
you got to be able to. You got your trenches. Number one, got to be on point
Right.
because you playing that traditional. Smash mouth. Running out the eye format. That old type of
Yeah.
stuff. Now, the
Yeah.
only thing with Ohio State is that they was getting faster athletes, like the skill position,
Right.
that can adjust to that cold weather, and that's why they ran a bus off so long. But as far as like the trenches, I mean, like I said, you can play at Purdue, up there, and you can go to the league if you're in the trenches because
Oh yeah.
they're built for that.
Yeah.
They built for the storms, and they can just, they can flat out just, they having big guys up there, 6'5", 6'6",
Yeah.
6'4",
Yeah.
6'7", 340, 320. Big Wop. They had, what was that? They call him Wop about 2 years ago from Indiana. He was 6'7", 400 pounds and can move.
And that was the average size on
So,
Wisconsin for years.
yes,
The
sir. That's
Badgers,
it.
the Badgers come. That offensive line for the Badgers that's average size.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a Barry
Mm-hmm.
Alvarez.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got that guy from
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati. You better watch them. You better watch
Oh
them
man,
Badgers.
Cincinnati gonna put on a show. I mean, right now, it's, as these young folks say, it's in style now to go to
Yeah.
University of Cincinnati. It's in style to go there now. So Cincinnati gonna steady produce them. But I'm so glad because I like Michigan. I've always liked Michigan.
Right.
I'm proud of Harbaugh and what he's doing.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
proud of what
You
he's
got to win
doing.
the
Fine.
championship though.
He's
You,
gonna have to,
you
man.
got to
He's
win the
gonna have to.
championship. Well, they gonna
He's
run him
gonna
out
have
of
to.
town. Gonna run
I
him
Yeah.
out of Ann
remember
Arbor.
Harbaugh's daddy used to play against Tennessee State. He was at Western Kentucky. They used to play
Mm-hmm.
against Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Taggart was his
Mm-hmm.
quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I think, and and another reason. Let me just drop this on you guys as well, Mr. Campbell. I mean, Mr. Ford. You are right. The reason why Maurice Harris took that job at JSU is because he is trying to become a head coach.
Oh, he's gonna be one. He's gonna be one.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over him. When you hear him talk, you can hear head coach.
But it wouldn't. My thing about it is, to me, I wouldn't even be mad about that.
No,
I,
he
I
was
wouldn't be. I
definitely.
wouldn't be mad about that.
No, I wouldn't
Like
either.
I said, give him 2 years, and he's knowing the ropes because he learned from Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
His son is the coach at Whitehaven right now, and they just won
Right.
the state championship. That's his son.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, they just won the state championship this past year at
Right.
Whitehaven. So the train gonna keep smoking. It's
Yeah.
gonna keep smoking. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and a couple of my partners they were talking about some Coach Reed might leave. I mean, she deserve it if she does,
Yeah.
but my
Yeah.
thing is people don't realize that as long as you have Ashley Robinson as your AD,
Yeah.
you are going to be fine because
Yeah.
you realize who Jackson State's women coach will be.
Right.
As soon as Miss Reed leave, they gonna go. Don Thornton is coming to Jackson. She on the way.
Yeah.
She's a Callaway graduate. She's a Jackson State graduate. You don't think that's one of her dream jobs?
That probably is. I think that is a dream job. I think she told
Yeah,
me that though. No, she told me that.
yeah,
And when I interviewed
yeah.
her, she said when she wasn't at Pine Bluff and Coach Reed wasn't at Jackson State, she would be at Jackson State right now. Yeah.
Yeah, she coming to the house. She coming to the house. So, you have that. And then the head coach of Callaway girls, my old high school that went to the state where they lost in the state championship this year, she's a Jackson State graduate.
Mm.
So you can pick your poison with that.
Right.
So the whole point is that train is not going to stop with Jackson State athletics. It's just not going to stop because if TC leave, then think about it. We still got Chris Jones out there. Chris Jones been winning high school championships in Mississippi. Out of the last 7 years, he's won 5.
Now, what years did he play at Jackson?
Chris Jones was the wide receiver and he was on the wide receiver side and Vincent Dancy was the All-American safety. Yeah, they was there during
They
the
played
same
for
time.
Comegys? Were they with Comegys or who were they with?
I don't know, Doc. Were they with Comedy?
I think it was with Comedy because you talking about Dancy, Javancy
Mm-hmm.
Jones.
Yeah, I
You
remember
and you
Javancy
remember
Jones.
and
Yeah.
you remember they
Yeah.
had Chris Jones. You remember
Uh-huh.
he was a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver. Yeah, so that's
Yeah, that's
on
that's
the
that's
Comedy.
the head coach. That's the head coach at Starkville. He's been the
Right.
head coach
Yeah.
there for
Okay.
the last 8 years, and out of the last 6 years, they've won 5 state championships. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So you can pick your poison. I mean, but I just think I think with the scope of the SWAC right now, this is going to be a very competitive year for the
Right.
SWAC.
Right.
Because there's a lot of unknowns out there. But I am glad that finally, man, that they're getting that young body, man, Andrew, some help, man. The young man needs some help, man.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
He can't come out there and do that. He can't because the thing about it is he's gonna end up, and I hate to say this, he's kind of like in the same token as Draylon Ellis. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they're so good, but you just gotta give them somebody to play with, man. I don't care who it is. Just run a go route and just catch it when I throw it to because I feel bad. I feel bad for young Andrew is because he takes a lot of hits. Now he avoids a lot of them,
Yeah,
but sometimes them linebackers, man, they be trying to tee off on him, man.
but Andrew ain't number like 100, about 195.
But he's
You know,
tough though.
he's
He's
tough.
tough as a
He's
cat.
tough.
Yeah, he tough
Um,
now. He tough.
but
Yeah, he tough.
I think he
I
has
thought the biggest move they made was bringing in Coach Everett Todd,
for the
the guy
defense.
that used to
Mm-hmm.
be the DC at Grambling. That was a big move.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big
Mm-hmm.
move because that guy went to the Celebration Bowl twice. He won one and lost one. He won the SWAC, I think, twice. That guy's good. He's a Rice graduate, and that's a big move for Texas Southern to get him as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I just think I I just think that he just needs to help and they just gotta get some guy but it baffles me though because you would think that they would just recruit Houston and the surrounding areas. Isn't it good football around Houston?
It's
Listen,
good.
Houston
It's
sends
good.
out 500 Division I signees every year.
Houston is good. Houston has good football around the area,
Yeah,
but most kids don't want to stay in Houston unless they go to the University of Houston. They don't want to stay in Houston. They'd rather go up the
Yeah.
road to Texas A&M, or they'd rather go to Louisiana or somewhere else. They don't want some. Most of these kids don't want to stay in Houston.
Wow.
well, they can get 50. Listen, they turn out 500 Division One signees every
Yeah.
year. Texas Southern can't get 10 of them.
That's my thoughts, Mr.
They
Ford.
can't
That's
get
what I
10 of
was
them.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking if they could just get if they can get just uh two guys
That's what I'm
that can
saying.
combine for 1,000 yards,
Dude,
Andrew will be the SWAC player of the year. But it's just you got to get that though. But I think now has Quay Davis enrolled?
He'll be in there. I think it said they'd be in there this summer. So either
Oh,
he'll be in there.
Edwin Moore. I graduated from Callaway in '94. Edwin. Yeah, I graduated from Callaway in '94.
Um, but he should be in there this in the summer, so he should be fine when he come in. So it's really not gonna be no drop off. You got a guy that's more of a, you can use him as a running back, you can use him as slot, outside wide receiver.
Mhm.
He can do it all. Like
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so, but somebody don't nobody recruit. Everybody recruit Houston. Yeah, everybody recruit Houston. Like, but most of those kids, when it comes down to it, they not gonna want to stay in Houston.
Well, I know that Alabama spends the second highest amount of money in recruiting in Texas, especially Houston. I know the majority of that money is spent in Florida, Texas, Georgia, and then California. Because
Alabama really don't go
yeah,
to Houston like that. They come to
I
Dallas.
thought
They
them
come
wide
to
receivers they had were from Houston. Remember, one of them
mm,
guys went to the Miami Dolphins. Wasn't he a Houston native? What's
that.
that little guy? He was a little speedster. He got hurt at the end of his Alabama career. What was it? Was it Nettles or Metals or something?
Mm,
He
that
went down to play with the guy with the Dolphins. Oh, I can't even think his name.
but most of but Saban go up to DFW. Like his last couple of receivers that he got,
Uh-huh.
JoJo Earl, he from Alito.
Okay.
Mhm.
Him and his friend Jason McClellan, the running back, he from Alito. Like most of those guys, they'll come from DFW. Like
Yeah,
uh,
I think this JoJo Earl's year right here. I think this is his
and he
breakout year.
I think he transferred though. JoJo transferred out from Alabama. I think he's at University of Texas now.
I remember
Oh,
that. Yeah, he did. I
he's still
remember.
gonna
Yeah.
break out. I mean, look
Oh
what
yeah,
they have.
Sarkeesian. Yeah, that's better. He got Steve
Yeah,
Sarkeesian.
yeah. So he's still gonna have a breakout year.
Yeah.
He's still gonna dominate because I mean Sarkeesian gonna put it in the air.
Oh, he
One
gonna put
thing
in there.
about him, if he has the talent on there to do it, oh he'll
Yeah.
try to score 70 on it.
Yeah,
Yes, he
He
will.
will try. He will try.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one
he's
of
a B. I
and then
think he's
he and Hugh
BYU and in
Freeze.
here
yeah, he was a big
BYU graduate.
he's a Lavelle Edwards disciple.
Yeah, we BYU.
But I will say this for all y'all Roll Tide fans out there, y'all better go ahead and get it this year because you don't want to fool with that crazy. You know what? That's an hour and a half away from Tuscaloosa.
Hugh
He has
Freeze.
proven it. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
proven it, and he still feels. And I'm gonna go ahead and go and let y'all in on it. He talks about it all the time that he felt like, well, of course, you know what the story said about the misconduct, but he feels like Coach Saban planted that,
Well, he beat
and
Saban 2 years in a
a
row, didn't
vengeance.
he?
He has a real
Didn't he
vengeance
beat
for
them?
that man.
Didn't Metcalf and them beat Alabama 2 years in a row?
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Q Freeze beat him 2 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm quite sure
And
he planted it.
he dropped 40 in both games on his
Right.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold
But
on.
all I'm gonna say is like I said, I heard from the horse's mouth that he really has a vengeance for that guy
Hold on.
because of what he did. what he did. I don't know, but I'm just telling you what a little birdie told me. So if I'm telling you, for all you Roll Tide fans out there, you better win it this year because he has proven it. Now this man is going to be at Auburn, y'all. And a lot of big time recruits still want to go to Auburn now.
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
gonna leave that
Lafayette
at that.
Village. Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Thetis Hardy for coming in. OverDrive fan. Thank you. Man, but look, you got here's another thing we was talking about, Edwin. You said Texas Southern needs to recruit DLW, East Texas, Corpus, and the Killeen area. Well, they did recruit Corpus because that's where Andrew Body from.
Right. Right.
They do recruit the DLW area because there's a lot of kids from the inner city of Dallas that do go to Texas Southern right now. Killeen area, I don't really think about Killeen like that. I don't think about Harker Heights. I don't think about Ellison. I don't think about Killeen High. I don't think about none of the schools down there. Now, if you go to Temple, that's a different story. Temple has a rich football history. They win state titles and stuff. Not like in a clip like Allen or South Lake Carroll, but they do win state titles. Uh, and East Texas, I think they'll be more like the Texarkana area or Marshall. But the kids that you want to get in East Texas, like in Center, St. Augustine, um, Timpson, Garrison, Lufkin, Diboll, those areas right there, little small towns like that, small town football, where they turn out athletes. Yeah, you can go there, but eh, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that. But but I think they do have to. Texas Southern does have to expand its more of its recruiting base. I feel they need to go to Austin. They could go to Austin. They got good football in Austin, like in the Round Rock area, uh,
Mhm.
uh, and San Antonio, like the north side of San Antonio. You could get some good football players out there. And yeah, great, yeah, uh, yeah. Coach Todd from South Oak Cliff, he's a PV alum, but he do send kids down there to Texas Southern because he preaches to those kids that um, even if you can't get into the D1 programs, HBCUs been doing it. They have a rich history, a rich tradition. You can win there. You can start there. You can win there. Might as well go there.
And watch out for Alcorn too, man, because that I saw that running back on film. He looked like, man, he look like he sleep in the gym. That running back, he
I
look like
think
he just sleep in the gym, but just wake up, go to class, come back, sleep in the gym.
I think they say he put on like another 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah, he
Ooh.
like a he like a brick. Yeah, you have to pull that one up, Mr. Campbell. Just look at some of his spring highlight. Yeah, he like a brick. He looks like a brick, like a big
And,
old just
and
block
now
of
he
meat.
got a quarterback.
He ain't got a quarterback.
Oh yeah, they gonna turn it out.
He said he want to go for 2,000.
Well, if he got that offensive line, he can get it. But you got to have offensive line for that.
I think he can get 2,000, but you going up against some tough defenses, and if you're playing defenses, I mean, of course you're gonna play defense like Jackson State, um,
Yep.
Alabama State got a tough defense.
Yeah.
I think
Listen,
most
what did he run for last year against Jackson State? How many yards did he gain
Like
they
against
gained
Jack?
90
like
yards, 94,
90.
94,
Okay.
95 yards.
Okay.
Ah, dang. Got a sophomore 6'4" safety. Wow, that's at Texas Southern.
Ooh.
Man, but it's crazy though with the two HBCUs in Texas because they only like 45, 50 minutes, 45, 50 miles from each other. So, so they basically fight for pretty much fight for the same player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm about to slow the show down. We
Well,
got
man, look, I thank y'all for having me. Let me get back to my book. I'm gonna be on the chat.
Yeah, listen, y'all have a good. I'm gonna let it go too, man. Y'all have a good night, okay?
you might listen to this, Mr.
O-
Ford. You might like
Okay,
this.
okay.
So first of all, in the show, Happy Founders Day to Paul Quinn College,
Ooh, what was the date?
April the 4th, 1872. That's when the school was founded.
1872.
That's when
Okay.
the school was founded down in Waco. Well,
Yeah.
it was founded originally in Austin, moved to Waco. Of
Okay.
course, in 1990, they moved up to Dallas, which is the old Bishop College
Right. Right.
campus.
Bishop. That's right.
Uh, the guy that gave the land to the people for Paul Quinn is Coma Cottrell, and if you know who Coma Cottrell is, he
Uh huh.
was the founder of the Proline. The Proline.
Yeah, the hairspray.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hairspray. That's right.
So he had,
Yeah.
he had a house out. He lived out here in Dallas.
Okay.
Um, so he donated the school to him because he bought the school from Bishop College because he didn't want to see the school closed. And
Right.
he
Right.
gave it to they Paul Quinn moved up from Waco,
Right.
and they've been going strong since. They had changed accreditations from the SACs to transnational, which
Okay.
was a good thing for them because now uh they have been um they have been good. They have been great with their accreditation for the
Right.
last, I think, like the last 20 years. Um, Also, they've had the same president, Michael Michael Sorrells, for the last 16 years. So he
Okay.
has been overseeing the campus to where they built the new dorm, they renovated the gym, they renovated the chapel on campus.
Mhm.
Uh, they turned the football field, the old football field, into an actual farm to
Yeah.
where,
I
yeah.
saw. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So um
Yeah.
um so basically, and then also he transformed the school into a work college. So
Right.
kids, you go to school, you have to work. It pays part of your tuition, pays most, try to pay some of your tuition off. And he also implemented the business dress code. Like
Right.
you can't go up into that school with your pants hanging down. Nope, you gotta have suit and tie on, player.
Right.
Every day you go to class.
Right.
um, but it is a good thing. I think they're trying to get the enrollment back up to like at least 1,000 kids
Okay.
to be enrolled into the school. I think they're at like 650 right now.
Okay.
But it's a lot of kids that actually do go to Paul Quinn. They turn out productive people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
so again, Happy Founders Day to Paul Quinn College. It is Dallas only. Urban is the HBCU in Dallas right now.
Right.
And then last but not least, we're gonna remember Eddie Robinson. As you know, I know it was yesterday. It's been 16, no, yeah, been 16 years since Eddie Robinson passed away.
It's been
Uh,
16 years.
16 years.
Man.
Yep. Remember he retired from coaching in 1997
Right.
when the school tried to run him out because they feel like that he wasn't able, he couldn't keep up. And
No.
plus
Yeah. Yeah.
he had two
Yeah.
losing seasons where they only won 3 games. And this is the years that we're talking about. In the 90s, you're talking about Jackson State and Southern
Southern. Yeah.
ran
Yeah. I
the
remember
conference.
them. That's Pete, because Pete Richardson would do us so bad in that Bayou Classic. Rob couldn't do nothing with him.
Yep.
He was, like you said, he was too young. He was in his prime. We couldn't do nothing with Pete Richardson. I don't
Yep.
think we beat Pete Richardson until what, Doug or Melvin
Doug came,
Spears, one of them.
Doug,
Yeah,
when Doug came in.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. We couldn't do nothing with Pete Richardson.
y'all talking about a man that still, I don't care what anybody say, he still is the most winningest coach in college
Oh yeah,
football
without a
with
doubt.
408 victories. I don't care what
Right.
anybody say. You can say
Yeah,
Bobby Bowden. You know what I'm saying? I'm kudos to Bobby Bowden because he is that guy. Joe Paterno, same. You know, Joe Paterno, same thing with him. Uh, but the difference between those two and Eddie Robinson ain't never got in trouble with anybody. Um, he never got in trouble with anybody. So you talking about a man that at one point in time, because Grambling only had the stadium which only seated 13,000, he sent his boys on the road.
yeah.
That's where you get the birth
Yes,
of
sir.
the classics.
Yeah,
And I'll put it in there, if this man was not coaching right now, he stayed at one school. He didn't veer away from it. Um, sent countless number of athletes, student athletes, to the NFL.
yeah.
Was he the basketball coach at one point in time
He did
also?
it all. He
He
did
did,
it all.
and coach baseball too.
Yeah, he did it all.
So you talking about a man that was everything to that school. He was Grambling. Put it put it just like that. Grambling just don't need to be Grambling. Grambling need to be renamed Eddie Robinson University. Um, but for him to send his teams to these different places like New York City, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis. You want to have these classes. You want to have a State Fair Classic. You want to have the Bayou
Yeah.
Classic. Wouldn't have the Circle City, the Windy City Classic. Wouldn't have the is one. I think it's one the classic in New York when they
That used to
first
be called the Whitney Young
the
Classic.
Whitney Young Classic. You wouldn't
Yeah,
have if you didn't have none of those classes right there. You wouldn't.
yeah,
It wouldn't be no classics. And the way that they did classics was they negotiated with both of the schools.
yeah.
Didn't have no middleman. The schools got the money from the gates. Um, it was split evenly, and you saw good football out there.
Now he told us that the idea for the Bayou Classic came from the Orange Blossom Classic. He used to go down and he played in it in '55, and he played in it several times in the '60s. But he told us the idea for the Bayou Classic was that he wanted a game like that Orange Blossom Classic down in Miami that FAMU had, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how he came up with the idea for the Bayou Classic.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the last thing, also it is today is the 55th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
yep,
that happened at the
yeah,
Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Um, uh, for all his contributions that he has done
right.
for the advancement of Black people. Um, give a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, well, that is tonight's show. I should be back on Thursday night and get a preview of some of these spring games coming up and see what else going on in the HBCU world and what's going on with got HBCU baseball right now.
Oh yeah.
Got the baseball going on. Um, other than that, anything you got going on, Mr. Ford?
Following the Braves, watching Atlanta Braves, and oh, by the way, they had a big poll here on the number one sports radio station. It's called 92.9,
Mm-hmm.
and the poll today was, should Trey Young go or stay? Overwhelmingly, the people in Atlanta saying he needs to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's about that
but
time.
that's going to be hard because I think he signed a $200 million contract. You can't just move no $200 million contract.
Man, it's crazy though, cause it's crazy because I used to watch his dad play at college and high school. Like,
Right, right.
man, it's crazy. And now your son out there balling.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm a Braves fan, so I like what I see on the field out there, man. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm a
I hope
Braves.
I can go catch them. They'll be back here, I think, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. Maybe if I'm lucky, maybe I can catch them because that games will probably be sold out. Because
Man,
I love that Ronald Acuna and that new shortstop we got now,
yeah,
Arcia and Riley. They got some players, man. The kid Michael Harris is from Atlanta. That center fielder they have,
right.
he's from Atlanta.
Man, it's cool. I like that. I like that. I'm a big Acuna fan. I know
Oh, I
coming
love
up
it.
in the September they're gonna retire Andrew Jones.
Yeah, should have been
Number
done that.
Yeah, they should have been done that.
Been
Should have
done
been.
that long time ago. That's long overdue.
He should have been retired with Chipper and all of those other
Yeah,
guys.
and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He ain't never got in trouble either. He never got.
And he
He
was
never
the
got.
best. He was the best center fielder for about 10 years, especially defensively. Nobody could go get it like Andrew Jones.
Man, that was some good. That was some good baseball back in 2000.
Oh yeah,
In the late 90s, 2000s. So,
yeah.
but other than that, man, we gonna end it right here.
Okay,
And
well, Doc, y'all have a good one here.
you
Enjoy
too,
it.
sir. Enjoy it.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
All right. Of course, y'all. Like I said, we still taking up donations for disaster relief for Rolling Fork. Um, if you haven't done it by now, all you have to do, if you're gonna donate, just cash app it to HBCU OverDrive. All the proceeds will go to um, the people for Rolling Fork. So I'm trying to shoot for 1,000. Right now we have $45. So let's see if we can get some funds in here. And when you do get when you do donate, I will shout you out either on tonight or on Thursday's show. So I let people know that I did shout you out, and that way you did donate. But I appreciate everybody coming in today. It was a good show. It was a good show. Good topics. um, it was good topics, and as always, y'all, as always, this has been another HBCU Overdrive live stream. Thank you. Make sure that you like, comment, share, most of all, subscribe. Also, hit that join button on the outside of the chat. Become an Overdrive fan to get everything HBCU Overdrive. Why? Because this is where HBCUs matter. If you haven't done it by now, make sure you hit that notification bell too to get everything HBCU Overdrive. I will be back on Thursday night, and then also on Saturday evening for Saturday Night Live with myself and Sheila's D and the whole crew. But until then, y'all be blessed, y'all stay safe, and most of all, y'all stay dangerous. On Thursday night again. Peace.